All right, we're doing another one of those movie versus, movie showdown joints. So we chose time travel, but I guess because there's obviously different versions of time travel movies. Like, so this week he chose the Butterfly Effect, and I chose the Project Almanac. Like, I could have chosen an action time travel movie, but I feel like that wouldn't even match the time travel movie you chose. So
Yeah,
I kind of just chose something that isn't action. I feel like that made it kind of both equal to kind of the same thing because like the Butterfly Effect is kind of like a drama, like
yeah,
versus an action movie. I feel like an action movie would always be a drama, like what I mean, to a degree,
yeah,
like, with enjoyment. So
yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna just let you go first.
All right. Do you want to talk? Should I talk about the movie that I watched first, or?
We should just talk about your movie specifically.
Yeah. So, um, I picked the Butterfly Effect, of course. With Ashton Kutcher. It's basically about a kid named Evan who has these mental issues and he has blackouts, and he doesn't understand why he's having those blackouts. He learns that his father also had those blackouts, and what it basically was is that those blackouts ended up being him time traveling to the past. He can't time travel to the future, but he can time travel to the past, which it's pretty cool because basically touches on like what going back in the past and changing certain things can do to a person. And
Which is hold on, but I know this is kind of random. But I feel like it's dope because both movies kind of did the same thing. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I feel like that was kind of cool that we at least kind of was similar in that degree. But yeah, continue.
There was something about your movie that I was wondering maybe I missed it because I feel like they could have went forward, but
I
yeah.
guess
So
they just didn't try. I mean, both of these movies didn't go forward to a degree. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
but I think there was a specific reason why he couldn't.
Yeah, I don't remember if they touched about going forward,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah. So basically Evan is discovering that he can time travel through going like reading his journals of when he blacked out basically at a point in given time and so do I explain the whole story like what happens in the
Nah,
end?
I mean, well, yeah, we're gonna spoil it, but just to explain like why you enjoy, like what made you choose this movie, like why do you enjoy it? Like, I mean,
So
even if you didn't enjoy it more than the other movie we watched, just explain like kind of like fight your stance, like why do you choose this movie? Like, you know what I mean?
so I actually do enjoy this movie more. I feel like it kept me more entertained. um I feel like there was more mystery to it, and there was more like shock value while watching the movie, and it had a more like serious tone when I was watching the movie, which I really enjoyed. Um, in the movie, although like it gave you answers, it actually left you with some questions. I realized that I watched the um, director cut version of it, which is why I told Rodney to make sure he watches the one that was actually shown. But I think they were both shown, right? Because why would I be able to see the director's cut? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's just the movie came out in 2004, bro. Like, director's cuts come out when the movie comes out. Like
Yeah,
after, like not like the one you saw was the one that came out in theaters. I'm pretty sure the director's cut did not come out in theaters.
yeah. That's why I was like, yo, this ending is different. I was like, nah, this is not the right ending. But
Oh wait. So let's make sure because the ending I saw was the one where like he went back into the baby, and then everybody
that,
like continued
people
their
were saying
lives.
that's the director's cut. The
Uh,
one I remember seeing was totally different.
what happened in the end? Yes.
So in the one I seen, he goes back and he tells the girl that he never wants to see him again and shit like that as a kid. And then like he ends up seeing her again in the future, and then he stops and looks at her, but then he keeps on walking forward. He doesn't talk to her at the end.
But yeah.
The one that we saw, because I saw the same one. The one that we saw was crazy. Like that was like a crazy ending. Like I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked. But yeah. So let's just talk about the one that we watched then.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just from my perspective. How long ago did you see this movie?
I saw this movie probably like in high school, I would say.
High school, okay. So I guess like I got this movie confused because I always knew the title of this movie, but I thought I watched it back in the day, but clearly I didn't. I got it confused with the movie with Jim Carrey and he was seeing the numbers and shit. It was that 7 or something like that. Do you know?
I think that's 20. I think that's 23.
23 or whatever. Yeah, you kind of seeing the number and shit. I guess I got the movie confused.
I actually want to watch that movie. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I watched this movie last night. Yeah, I don't know, man. Wait, you watched it again last night? You said
what?
This movie? You watched this movie again yesterday?
Butterfly. I watched it yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, man. This movie's terrible.
Oh, you hated it?
This movie sucks, bro. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
It's terrible.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that's the second time in a row.
There's a lot of points in this movie that I was just laughing. Like, with the he was trying to read the thing to get out of prison because they were about to rape him. He's like, I gotta get out. I was just dying. And then they just rape him and so like I was just like, bro, it's like I don't know if it was like I don't think what's his name, Ashton Kutcher. I don't think he's a terrible actor. I just feel like maybe it was the writing, but like I just feel like this movie just wasn't what I expected it to be. Like I don't know what I thought it was gonna happen, but like there was a lot of points where I just felt like, am I supposed to root for this nigga? Like honestly, am I supposed to like? Is he supposed to like? Am I supposed to hope for like a happy ending for this nigga? Like I don't get it.
I felt that.
Like he thought he was a good person, like a good character.
Honestly, it wasn't really rooting for him. It was more so rooting for the girl, I would say, because he was trying to help someone.
Yeah, I guess, but at the same time, it just kind of felt like no matter what, he kept on going back, like for his own purpose. Like in the Project Almanac, we saw them like they were going back to their own purpose, and for this movie, it felt like they were trying to push it for like, he's doing it for the girl or whatever, but it kind of really felt like he was just doing it for himself. Like, you know what I mean?
He was doing it for both. He was doing it for both because he liked the girl and he wanted to see the girl do better. So he wasn't just doing it because he actually liked this girl. He wanted to be with this girl. And then he also wanted to like fix all of his friends' issues. You know what I mean? Like he's realizing that like he's causing his friends to suffer every time when he goes back. So he's trying to find a way to fix everything.
I know. But I feel like they pulled that off better in Project Almanac than they put it off in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like some of the times when he jumped back, he could have just let it go. Like some of the issues his friends were having was not that bad. I was like, all right.
They weren't bad, but it's still. I felt more believable. Like I feel like every choice he made in this one led to like a death or some shit. The nigga came back and he was like, "Yo, do you remember what happened to my to like us when we were little kids?" She was like, "You came all the way back here for that?" And then she started running away. And then she ran back. She was like, "If I was so special, why did you call me?" And then she ran away. And then the bitch killed herself.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?
That's
bro? Like,
believable.
am I so, bro?"
Bro, she got touched. They filmed.
They both got touched.
They got filmed. Like
he's more crazy than her. He didn't kill himself. And
he's not crazy. He's
not crazy.
How is he crazy?
The nigga was blacking out. The nigga was drawing pictures of himself, dead bodies and shit. He wasn't crazy, bro. Come on, stop.
I mean, the reason why I say he's not crazy is because what they were claiming he was crazy for, he can actually do. Like the dad wasn't crazy either. He was actually.
I get that point, but he's still like not there. Like I don't care. Like no matter what niggas trying to spin it, like he's not mentally there. Like my nigga was talking about. The nigga said the line, "You think you know me? I don't even know myself."
I mean, he was going crazy. Well, he was going crazy because of the blackouts. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" But once he, well, okay, he was crazy. I guess you can say he was mentally ill.
So,
I wouldn't say he was crazy.
So the answers to the blackouts are pretty much him going back in time, right? Like,
yeah.
So every time he goes back in time, it's a version of him. Like just like when the they were getting the nigga was filming them, he went back twice and there was two different versions of him.
Yeah.
Like like it's kind of like like he could unlimitedly go back in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like there's no like stakes in that. You know what I mean? I feel like yes, there was effects to him going back, but like the nigga, he's like, I'll fucking put this up your asshole, mother. and then he throws it and the girl picks it up. He's like, and then she throws it up, bro. Like I was laughing throughout this whole fucking movie, bro.
There was a scene that I want to get your take on. Is when he talked to the father that was filming him, and know how like it led to him just focusing on the son. I'm like, why would he just like listen to some little kid just like that one time, and then change his mind, and then still do the same shit but on his son? Like that don't make sense to me. And then there was another part where like he said, "You remember me?" Like, do you think he realized what's going on, or he's just confused, still confused?
Honestly, I feel like I don't have an answer for that because they didn't make it clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't like I just personally feel like it's crazy how a movie about teenagers going back in time makes more sense than this. Like you can't explain how he's going back in time. You can't explain none of it. He's like the only thing they try to explain it with is, oh, I thought the curse dies with me and my father. Like they never really explain what the fuck is going on. Like ever. Like so it kind of makes me just feel like so he's just gonna. So that's why the ending was like, okay, that's cool. I guess he went back in time and like his mom had to still work for him or whatever. It was like, cause I guess, but I feel like if I saw the ending you saw, I probably would have liked it less. I would have liked it like last year, yeah. But like I said, he went back in time to still want mother. But I just don't. It just boggled my mind. Like it didn't make sense to me. Like I was trying to get it. I was really trying. And the acting, a lot of the acting was not good in this movie, especially the child actors. They were really bad in this movie. The nigga blowing up the mom and
yo, this whole time when I was watching that part of the movie, bro, I just wanted to move this kid. I was like, yo, what was so bad is that movie, the movie theater scene where he beat up the kid. He got the pole and he.
I was like, you let that little nigga beat ya. That just looks so fake to me. Like it just, and then no, well, man, I swear to God, I almost shut off. Yo, when the police are dragging him, he was like, I couldn't, bro. I can't, bro. I can't. I'm sorry. This like Lenny pissed me off, bro, the most. The fat nigga.
He pissed me off the most, bro. Like
it just don't make no sense. Like nigga is like, yo, everything's good now. What? So let me just stab this nigga. So confused. He's like, you knew there was something going on that night, huh? Like I'm like, oh, what is going on?
It just made me realize like he was like prone to like to easily get traumatized. Like I was like, yo. He was like so prone to get so one bad event affected his whole life. There was one there was one scene that shook me when he was painting the plane and he just grabbed her. I forgot all about.
Yo, I was like, yo, what is going on? Like, I was so,
I
so confused.
had my headphones on at that time, and I was like, yo, that shit jumped. I jumped to that shit. I was like, oh damn. Yeah, I don't know everything that you're saying. I didn't. I feel like the child actors definitely were bad, but I thought like the adults were good at acting.
I don't think. I think the girl wasn't that good. The girl wasn't that good. Like the main girl, the mom was solid. Like Ashton himself, he was solid, but like everybody else, like the people in the jail, was like, get up, ladies. You know what time? Like it was just too much. It was just such a 2004 movie. It irked me. Like I know it's not fair because it's the movie I chose is newer, but I just felt like, what? Like, there's no way he won. We could have I know it felt like he was trying to go for like an award. It wasn't getting that. I'm sorry. Like not with this movie. And I was looking it up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one that didn't like this movie. Like I'm not crazy, bro. Like I know I'm not crazy. Like,
I mean, whatever movie you're gonna find someone that doesn't like it.
I mean, yeah, but it's also this movie has like a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes or something. So it's like I just thought because I hear that name a lot, the Butterfly Effect. I always assumed it to be with a good movie, and it's not. You know.
Yeah.
But Ashton, he was doing his thing back there, praying, it was I respect it. I just never watch it again.
Alright.
Project. Okay, so I chose Project Almanac. These movies are very similar in the degree where it's like their father has something and they also continue it. Like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They're both. It's like they're both going back in time to add to their life. You know what I mean? To fix their life, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the reason why I chose this movie specifically, one is because I remember seeing it in theaters and I remember really liking it. So I wanted to see if it like kind of stood up this test of time, and I think it does. First, I think it's still a good movie, like a solid watch. Number two, it's a fucking it's the POV movie, which aren't like you don't see those nowadays as much. Like, and I felt like back in the day they were really unique, and I feel like this is a pretty solid one. Like, this is up there with like Chronicle, like you know what I mean when it comes to like just like kids living out their daily life and some fucked up shit happening to them. And a lot of the things that they were doing in this movie are really relatable. Like him going back in time to make sure like the shorty falls in love with him or whatever, which is like that's some shit a nigga would do. Like that's some shit doing the lottery thing, like making sure she passed the test. Like all that shit is some shit that I feel like if we figured out time travel in high school, we would try to do some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Also seeing what was dope was their repercussions are more. Another reason why I like this movie more than the Butterfly Effect is because the repercussions of him in the Butterfly Effect all had to do with people around his life, and the repercussions in this movie had to do with like on a grander scale, like kind of like how it was just funny how in the Butterfly Effect it started out with a quote and it was talking about the butterfly wings, flaps and shit, and it's like can start a hurricane across the world, which is like you don't know what your actions do. So like you winning the lottery could like fuck up some crazy shit later, like even on the other side of the world or some shit. So like the plane crash and shit, like the guy getting hit by a car, like it was bigger than them. So I can see why they would stop wanting to stop doing that, because it's kind of like, people are dying because of actions of us, like, you know what I mean? Versus the Butterfly Effect was literally just the people around him. Like it didn't show like a grander scale of what time travel really could do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though I feel like I'm not gonna say both movies are like one movie is perfect. Like they both have like flaws, like how the dude was on Instagram in the past, like how you on Instagram in the past. There's a lot of shit where that don't make sense, but I feel like they pull it off with the found footage type thing, because it's like people like obviously it's not supposed to look like a real movie, like, you know what I mean? Versus the Butterfly Effect is like, this is a real movie, like, you know what I mean?
What was crazy about the movie is that it wasn't supposed to look like a real movie, but it had real movie quality. Like the camera.
It was clean. It was clean.
It still had that view. You can keep on going. You can finish what you were about to say though.
Nah, yeah, I was just saying. I felt like I was watching both movies. Like I was, I wouldn't say I was more invested in this plot than the other one. Because I just felt like it was more tangible. It was something like not everything is supposed to be like realistic to a degree, but I just felt like okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Like you know what I mean? Like of course, yeah, they would do that. That makes sense. With the butterfly effect, I kind of felt like they were trying to be mysterious, but they really didn't pull it off. But I do think it was dope that they both pretty much sacrificed their life at the end. You know what I mean? Like they both did that because they know like time travel is fucked up. Like it is. No matter how you go around, it's fucked up. Some of these lives gonna be fucked up with that. Yeah, I just feel like this was a more enjoyable movie. Like I would watch this again. Like I would, you know what I mean? But yeah.
All right. So my thoughts on the movie. Honestly, it's kind of like the opposite of yours. I didn't really like the movie that much. I would say what I liked about it probably towards the end. I like the ending scene because like it had like a sad, real sad tone to it. You were like, damn, this kid really is like gonna erase himself just to save everybody that he loves. You know what I mean? Well, just to save one girl actually, but it wasn't in the grand scheme of things. He was saving everybody because if they kept on using the machine, it would have been bad.
Well, but what's dope is that it continues on and they both find the recording again. Like,
yeah, I think that was cool because I think it was like something with time. It had to do something with time. Like, damn, like I think they fucked up.
Inevitable type thing.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it.
I feel like he fucked up time to a point where there had to be like some kind of glitch. You know what I mean?
Bro, you're telling me when they saw each other, they started tweaking. That shit wasn't hard. That shit was fire, bro. That shit was fire. So
this is why I didn't really like the movie too much. I feel like I said about the butterfly effect, I feel like I didn't really have like that serious tone really to it until the end, until like the very end. Like I feel like most of the movie was like a kind of like a Project X movie. It was like
all movies have to have a serious tone to be good?
No, that's not it. But like for a movie like this, what it was trying to do, I felt like it should have had a more serious tone.
I mean, I feel like the halfway point is once they got serious. Like I wouldn't say the ending. That's when they got serious. I don't say the halfway point.
And then there were like, of course, a movie needs build up, but I was like watching it and I was like getting bored at times. Like when they were building the machine, I was like, I didn't care about that. And then when they were basically when they were talking about the MIT thing, I was like, all right, I didn't really care about that either. So that was like a good like hour of the movie. Basically, it was like a good like 30 or 40 minutes of the movie. It just build up. And then like the last like probably like 30 minutes of the movie, 40 minutes, the other 40 of the movie is like, oh, like we're time traveling now. Let's go party. And then that's like 20 minutes of the movie. And then that's when it starts to get really serious. The last like 15 or 20 minutes of the movie was when it started to get serious.
So you wasn't bored in the butterfly effect at all? 0%. You was invested in the whole movie.
I was trying to figure out what was going on. Like I forgot the movie. Like I forgot like most of the movie. I was like, the only thing I remember was the blackouts with him going back in the past. So I forgot majority of the movie.
So you was invested. Like, I gotta figure out what's going on.
Yeah. And this movie, I felt like you kind of like you can watch it like and you can kind of basically already figure out what's gonna happen. Like you see him like this, like all right, like yeah, that nigga's about to like go back in time, like and stop himself or even find. I already seen it. Like I already seen it. I was like, oh damn, he's about to stop it from happening. Like when you get like to like 40 minutes in the movie, you're like, all right. When he gets the paint on him, I'm like, oh, he doesn't go then. I was like, oh, he probably goes back because something bad ends up happening, and he probably just destroys the machine all to begin with. So the ending was predictable. The only thing I didn't predict from the ending was him meeting his father. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was gonna the dad was gonna go downstairs and he was gonna meet him, but you knew he was gonna destroy the machine. And I just felt like it wasn't the dialogue among the characters were believable because they did act like teens. But I felt like the mistakes that he made as someone that wants to go to MIT and as someone that's capable of building a time machine, I feel like it wasn't really believable for him to allow his friend to go to his friend's house and let him draw on himself. Like time travel 101, bro. It's common sense that you're not supposed to really meet yourself. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, why would they do that? Another thing was they kept on jumping back to the same point. Remember that when his friend was trying to take his test, they kept on jumping back to. Wouldn't they have met themselves, constantly jumping? That's what was kind of confusing about it. I was like, how could they jump at the same time of when they jumped? That means they were just running to themselves again, like at the time when they jumped, which didn't make sense to me. I was like, all right, this movie has kind of like a little bit of a loophole. It's like, do they jump to a different timeline, and then when they jump forward, they go into that timeline, or is it the same timeline? You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting confused at. And then it had me thinking like, okay, if they jump to different timelines, like what happens to the people when they jump forward? What happens to the people that were supposed to be there? So the movie was kind of confusing in that regard. I felt like the reason why I like the butterfly effect more is because when he jumps into his consciousness. So I feel like it made more sense in that terms, because he's not like just jumping like in person. You know what I mean? It's like more of a supernatural ability. And although like the supernatural ability part of the butterfly effect is like not explained, like how could someone have that ability? It's like with time travel, it's like they were just saying theories. You know what I mean? Big words. It's like they didn't really have the information. They just made up some bullshit. Just like how butterfly effect just kind of had some bullshit there too. You know what I mean?
Alright, so let me say something. So I mean, one, obviously they're gonna say bullshit because time travel isn't real, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna say real shit like this is how you really time travel, nigga. It's bullshit. It's a fucking movie. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and I feel like at least they tried with that. They didn't even try with the butterfly effect. You're just supposed to assume, right? And you believe it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying, so of course, like Iron Man making fucking a suit in a cave, like you're just supposed to believe it. It's a movie, like you know what I mean?
That's my point, and that's exactly
I'm saying, so you can't use that against the Project Almanac when you're not using it against the butterfly.
No, I am using it. I'm trying. You just proved my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because you were saying like they didn't explain anything. I was like, you're just supposed to believe it, just like how you're still supposed to believe it with the Project Almanac.
But
that's why I said
the difference is they tried to explain it. Just like in Iron Man, they tried to like in all good movies, of course. Like it's show not tell, but when it comes to time travel, bro, like that's something like you can't just do it, like you know what I mean, unless it's like a movie about powers or whatever, like you know what I mean. Nobody else has his abilities except for his father and his grandfather. Like it just like you know
it was
trying to kill his son. Like I just feel like that like with one movie is no matter, of course there's loopholes in both movies. Like
yeah.
But just from my watching experience, one was more believable. Of course, they're teens creating his time machine, but like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, that's the plot of the fucking movie. Like I don't know. Like, but you
can also argue the same thing. That's just it's just a supernatural. It's just a supernatural event that takes place. You know what I mean? It's just how the movie.
I'm not like shitting on the movie for that. I'm just saying with one, I got somewhat of an explanation, and one I didn't. So one with that explanation, it made the movie more believable. If they tried, well, the movie's 2 hours long. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't try nothing. Like not even they didn't try with the him writing shit down. Like I
don't think that was the purpose of the movie though. They weren't supposed to have that. It wasn't supposed to be.
I just felt like it would have the believable factor adds to the movie. Like when they, you know what I mean, just just me personally, that's just I get
'Cause
obviously with two different people. I'm just saying, I'm just talking from me watching it. Like,
Because I sit down there, I'm like, he doesn't usually use he doesn't use a time machine. He doesn't use anything. He just literally reads off the journal and he jumps. So it's like clearly they have like some supernatural ability, but it's like sometimes it's just not explainable. You know what I mean? I don't think.
I can't just say clearly. Like I can't just say.
So, like how would you explain that? That's the thing.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think this movie is about like a psycho nigga. Like I just think he's cooked up. Like I just think that's really from all the shits I've seen. I just think that nigga's is fucking.
Take
crazy.
it that way. That's a good thing about the movie because that's the way I take it. Like maybe he's still in the org and he's mentally ill, or maybe he actually does have superpowers. Like it all depends on how you want to take the movie. And I feel like the mystery aspect of it is what allowed you to think that is like, oh, he could have just been Cook all along.
So just to interject right there, other mystery movies, I feel like if you're essentially like that's one of like your points and why you enjoy this movie because it's a mystery or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I feel like other mystery movies are made for you to watch them multiple times. I don't think this is one of them. Like the mystery aspect you're pushing, it's not that crazy. It's like, oh, what does he do? What happens next? But like that's about it. Like once the movie ends, it's like that's it for this nigga. I'm not like there's no watching the movie again and seeing little points and pieces where oh that made sense because no, that's not it, bro. Like it's not.
He said that.
Like it's like the movie it's not predictable, but it's still like a regular ass plain. Like I feel like this is like a TV show special. Like I've seen this before. Like where it's like, yo, if you go back in the past, if you go back in your consciousness and change something in your past, it will affect your future, like the outcome in the future, and then like everything goes back to normal after that or whatever. Like, well, that's what you said in the original ending, not this one, because he's fucking high. So
yeah. Do you think those babies that the mom had prior went through the same thing?
I mean, I didn't ask that question. I mean, like that question came up in my head, but I didn't want to know the outcome. Like
that outcome of it. Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, maybe all those babies that killed themselves were prior kids that she had in the future that just decided like fuck it. Yeah.
I mean, unless they were girls, right?
I don't know. It could have because their babies are based from they're the father's babies, so maybe.
Oh, he said my grandfather had it and I had it, so it's like it definitely is like a nigga.
It's only got okay. All right. Maybe it's only.
Unless he has like a auntie we don't know about. They said it specifically, so I'm assuming it's a nigga thing, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't say it then. I would have been like, okay, whatever. But they said it specifically. But I feel like what was predictable was that the crazy father thing. Like, that was pretty predictable.
That was predictable. Oh, yeah.
No, please, I thought it was just me. You sound just like your father. He had the pictures, his pictures and he never had. The nigga fucking chops off his arms. So I was dying.
I don't know, man. I feel like
I was dying, bro.
I feel like if I had those powers, bro, I would have been chilling, bro. I would have went to the lotto, you know.
I would rather have the Father Almanac shit than this shit. Nigga cut his hand and then he had the cuts in his real life. Like, that's some freaky shit, bro. Like, I wouldn't beat myself. I know where I'd be at, so I'd be out. You know.
I just don't get how the main character in that movie would make that mistake, bro.
I mean, I can't just explain why, but I just feel like there's a reason why they put them at a young age. Like they obviously make dumb decisions. Like, I feel like that's like they did that on purpose. Like you know what I mean? Like so it's like of course like I feel like I would have your issue if they were older. Like you know what I mean? I would have your issue like why would you make that stupid ass mistake? But that's like I don't know. They would go into parties and shit, so it's like
because that's like time travel 101. But But what would you have done? Would you be willing to erase yourself?
Um,
Because you're not the same person. That's
like,
basically.
no, but you do find the tapes later, so it's like fuck.
No, but you're not the same person. You're not the same guy. Like that.
I know. You could be a whole different nigga. I don't know, man.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't. Yeah, it depends on. Feel like, does it hurt? Like, you know what I mean? You just don't know. Like, you just gone. Like,
I don't think it hurts, bro. I think you just get deleted.
like I love the effects in the movie too, right? Like,
Yeah.
the way shit look, bro. That shit look fire as fuck, bro. Like, yeah, I love the little effects. I feel like when this movie came out, one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't like it was because it was produced by Michael Bay. So Michael Bay, like, produced isn't like same as directed. Like, Michael Bay directed the fucking Transformers movies.
Yeah.
But he produced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. But you see how they're they're somewhat similar in a degree.
Yeah.
So, like, because this was so different and it had Michael Bay's name under, I feel like a lot of people hated on this movie, but I feel like this is a solid movie. Like I feel like yeah, there's issues with the plot, but I feel like overall it's like you can find issues with a lot of plots. Like if you just like obviously shut your mind off and just watch a movie and just enjoy it for what it is. Like there's no like crazy plot twist. Like it's just like yeah, that makes sense. They would do that shit, of course. Like, but I guess killing himself was some crazy shit. I wouldn't expect them to do that, but it was still like I feel like it was
for both of them. I think killing themselves was crazy. I would have probably went back like the one that I seen. The one that I seen how he just decided not to meet the girl at all, just like stay away from the girl. I feel like that's a more better ending because I feel like that's a more believable way to end the thing from ever happening. But what was kind of weird about that ending too, for Butterfly Effect is like, if you don't meet the girl, does the dad stop touching the girl?
no.
That's what I'm saying. So why this?
It was so weird because he was like, bro, like he brought the son over just so he could touch him. Like I just thought that was like I don't know. I just felt like that was kind of. I guess, and then you had the little brother watching upstairs. Like, I just felt like, this nigga's definitely trying to get caught. Like, there's no way.
I mean, he sent him upstairs, but like he came back down to watch.
The nigga was watching Twisting the Dog. I was tired, bro. I'm tired.
No, because like, when I watched the ending, you see the kids start living with their mom. And I'm like, why does that happen? Just from him not meeting? Was it like?
Exactly. Like,
I don't understand.
I don't. And then so she didn't stop them from getting touched. Like because they were getting touched, that's why that little nigga was crazy. Like I find that bullshit. That nigga was crazy from the jump. Like he was crazy from the jump. Like what? Nigga said you fucking slit your mother's throat at night.
Because I was thinking about, I was like, maybe if they never met, maybe her attentions might have went somewhere else, which might have led her to go to her mom. I don't know. Probably that's why. But I'm like, damn, that's crazy how one person really has that effect on someone. I don't know. I feel like the dad would still be doing the same thing he's doing, and she would be probably still doing, like, having a terrible life. But I guess that's not the case.
It doesn't really make sense. I mean, that's them trying to like trying to make a good ending, like trying to make everything go better, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that really truly doesn't make sense with a lot of shit. And then the wife, I guess does that mean the dad's still alive? Like I didn't. There was a lot of moving pictures at the end. I didn't really get what was going on. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming the dad wasn't crazy anymore because they didn't have the kid. Like,
The dad was out of the picture. It looked like she had a new man's.
Oh, that was a new nigga?
Yeah, that was a new man's. It looked like she had a new man's. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably like by him not being here, like it led the little girl to have I guess more time for the dad to get exposed. Maybe, I don't know. That's the thing. It could be anything. Cause when you really look at it, though, time travel does work like that. Like even like in the Almanac, like them going to that. I said the name wrong, but them going to the fucking party, bro. Them going to that party, bro.
That's gonna fuck up everything, though. You don't know what could happen.
Like, why did the plane crash again? Because he went back and changed. He changed the fact that he got into a relationship with her, which caused the plane to crash. Because remember, he said, "Yes, like I lied. It was me. I went back one time." That one little interaction made a plane crash.
But you gotta think about it. It's kind of like that's what the quote was in the fucking butterfly effect. How one like butterfly wing or whatever can cause a hurricane across the world. Where it's like because that didn't happen before. After that, like whatever happens in that day, like
All different.
It's different now. Like it's different, right? So it's like you don't know what could have happened. Like that's why it's like that makes sense that it was because of us. Because when everything was going straight, none of that happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that makes like anything that like if the world could end, that's on you because you did something. Like it didn't happen because it was good. Like I feel like that makes sense. Like
what had me kind of iffy about your movie is that the only reason why the time travel happened is because he saw himself. It's like damn. It's like
I know. He's like, wait, what is that?
that's one thing that kind of has me like mind blown because it's like there has to be a timeline where he didn't meet himself and he just did it, right?
Hey, multiverse.
That's what I was thinking.
What's even now? What's something that you didn't even? It's funny that you never brought up, but I brought up when I was watching it. You telling me that camera has battery still in it?
Yeah, that's true.
Like they just opened the camera, looked at it, it was going through it like that shit.
Yeah.
It was charged up his whole life. I don't know, but hey, it's a movie, man. I don't know.
I know.
That shit was funny though. He was like, "Is that me?" Yo, can you imagine? Can you imagine you looking through old video of yourself and you see yourself? Like now, that shit would change everything. That shit would change the whole world.
I would bug out.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes